We are live. Greetings. Thank you for joining me. We are on another painting episode here on Meet Me at the Table. Super excited to do this. It's been a while since I've done this, so I'm excited to be back. I hope everybody's able to join me for this. This is going to be super fun. We are going to be painting Marvel United, some X-Men. My son and I are going to be doing a playthrough coming soon, and I think this is going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be doing the Days of Future Past when we do our playthrough. He has chosen that one. I'm excited to do that one because it's going to be super fun. Today we're going to be painting up these miniatures. We're going to probably be talking some X-Men, some Marvel. We're going to be talking some comics, maybe some movies. We'll see how it goes. I've got lots to chat about. I'm excited to see people in the chat. It'll be really cool to see how all this transpires. Now, let's show you what I'm painting. Let's jump down to the painting camera and I'm going to show you. First off, we are going to start out by painting this character right here. This is the Logan, or the Wolverine, that comes with the Days of Future Past from the X-Men Marvel United set. So I'm going to be painting that one. I've got the miniature here somewhere. Where did I put it? It's over here. They are all, I primed them all and got them all set to go. So here is our Wolverine. He's right here. We're going to paint him up the best we can. I'm going to tell you right now, this is probably one of the most difficult painting episodes I have ever done. And why is that, do you say? Because painting any type of iconic character is always super tough because you want to make it look as close to the miniature as you possibly can. When it comes to normal things from dungeon crawlers, you can kind of make your own way with it. You can be a little bit off on the colors and it totally is not going to matter because you haven't actually seen these characters before. But in this particular one, I'm going to have to make these guys look almost as close to him as I can. So we'll see what we can do about this. That's going to be our first character. We're going to be painting up the Wolverine. The second character is going to be something I'm going to need your help with because I have two options. First off, my son is the one who's going to be painting up Wolverine. He's going to be the one, or sorry, not painting, but playing the Wolverine instead. But I don't know who I'm going to play yet, so I'm going to need your help to decide what we're going to do. We have some people in the chat. It's good to see everybody here. Broccoli Dawkins, as always, howdy. It is good to see you. Thank you for joining. We are painting up some X-Men United. Quitter Gaming, I still don't think I can ever say your name right. Thank you again for joining. This is going to be fantastic. It is good to see. Oh, pressure is on, as my wife says. I think your son is watching from his room. That's fantastic. I've got people everywhere watching. This is going to be amazing. Oh, so much fun. All right, let me show you the two characters I am thinking about painting, and we'll have to decide after I get done with the Wolverine which one I'm going to be painting to see for my character. Okay, here we go. You ready? You ready? We're going to go down to our painting thing here and see what we have. One of the characters I could play is this character right here. This is Bishop. I could play Bishop. I'm trying to be a little bit thematic. Now, from what I understand from the comics, it was Wolverine, or no, Jubilee, I think went, or not Jubilee, sorry, Kitty Pryde, I think went back, Shadowcat, and helped talk about what was going on with Nimrod and all the Sentinels and everything in Days of Future Past. But in the X-Men cartoon that I grew up with in the 80s, this is the character that went back, and it was Bishop. So there might be a chance I'm going to play Bishop. The other one I thought that'd be kind of thematic to do is also I could be Cable as well. And here's the miniature for Cable. This guy has an out-of-control gun. It's absolutely glorious. Look at that gun. It's huge. So that is the other one I could potentially be playing as. So we'll have to talk about and vote on that as we go through painting. So first off, let's start with our Wolverine. We're going to paint him first. And we're going to start with the flesh color, which I always hate painting flesh. We're going to start there. I'm going to use, instead of doing some of the contrast for this, I'm going to use Barbarian Flesh first because it's probably the closest thing I have to the skin color that he has. And is it going to be perfect? No, but I'm going to do my very best. So we're going to put some of that out on our palette and get it ready to go. I've got my brush here. I do use Series 7 Sable brushes. That is my favorite type of brush. And we're going to take some paint onto the brush and start going to work. And these are those kind of chibi type miniatures. So again, it makes it even tougher because I'm not very good at painting eyes or anything on face very well. But that's what you kind of have to do with these. So now with these, I'm going to do a really good job of not trying to hit the hair because that we're going to probably use a contrast paint on, and I want to make sure that it flows over it okay. Now when I'm going over this, if I hit the eyelashes on this character, I don't mind doing that, but I don't want to hit the eyes. I'm still probably going to do it anyway because it's not the greatest painter on the planet. But we'll see what we can do here. So we're just going to kind of go around here and get some of this face. Now I'm going to have to probably do 2 coats on this because this paint doesn't go on very well on top of gray. As you can see, it's a very gray. You might not be able to see it too well, but you can kind of see the gray through it a little bit. So we're going to get more paint and keep on going here and see what we can do. Right up on there. And again, not trying to hit the hair. I want to stay away from that hair if I can. But if I hit the eyelashes, I'm okay. I don't mind just going over those with another color. And I hit his eyeball. That's fantastic. We're on a roll already. We'll keep on going here. Now he's got these like kind of Wolverine-ish type sideburn things going on here. We don't want to hit those either. Those we're going to stay off of. And he does have kind of this little beardy thing going on down there. So I'm not going to hit that either. So we're going to kind of go around this the best we can and try not to hit that. I'll hit his mouth. That's fine. I'll probably go over that with a red later. We'll see how that goes. So we're going to kind of go underneath this kind of facial hair thing he has going on. So we're getting kind of close in there. We've got a little bit of that done. We'll see how this goes. Keep on going here. I'm excited to play this game with my son for the playthrough. It'll be a lot of fun. We're looking forward to doing this. The summer is almost upon my children. They have both made it through another school year. I have a 5th grader and a 3rd grader. Got to make sure I get that right. And so I will be playing this game with my fifth grader. He's excited to record it. And in the summer, we have a little bit more time to be able to do that kind of stuff. So we got his face done. There is not much more that's flesh except for his hands. The rest of it is all going to be, thank goodness, covered in, what do you call this? It's going to be covered in clothes and things of that nature, which is super good because I don't want to have to deal with that. All right. Let's see what we can do getting some more of this on here. I want to get his wrists here. It's his hand right here is the next thing we're going to work on. So we're just going to kind of go through now. Of course, he's got those adamantium claws here. I do not have the color adamantium, so I'm just going to paint him silver. I don't even know if there is a color adamantium, but if there is, I don't have it. We're just going to go all the way around his hands here, just like this. And if I get it on the claws, it's not the end of the world because I'm going to be going over those with silver, and silver will go right over the top of this without any problem. The only paints I always have a tough time getting over the top of other paints are those contrast paints because they don't really coat as well as regular paints do. Let's continue going on with this. Painting some more on here. I have to admit, it is good to be back on live painting shows here. I haven't had a chance to do this in a while. I've been awfully busy with other things, but today is a good day to get some painting done. Let's see if I need to kind of get in here and get the rest of his hand. It's kind of hidden by himself here, which is great. There we go. I think we got all the flesh. And I know you can't see what I'm doing in there because it's kind of inside his hand there. We got that done. We'll kind of go up again on the wrist here and get the rest of this wrist right here. There we go. All right. I think we're okay. I think we got it. We get it? Yes, we got it. There we go. Now, like I said, we're going to go through and do that all again after it dries a little bit, which will be just fine. Let's keep going. Now, I don't know how many people have seen the Days of Future Past. There's actually been a few different versions of Days of Future Past, remember right. There was one in my 80s X-Men cartoons I used to watch, which was super cool. That was like my favorite X-Men, I think, of all of them. But there are some other great like plays on Days of Future Past. One of them, of course, they did the movie, which is Days of Future Past. That was something. I have to admit, I haven't been the biggest fan of some of the movies that have been out for the X-Men, except for like the first couple were pretty good. But then after that, I kind of stopped really thinking they were that great. But that's just me. That is just me. And I'm sure there are other people who think they were good movies. I just have kind of an issue. I think one thing that really hurt me when it came to those movies was when there was a scene, I think it was in X-Men 3, where the Professor X went right past Juggernaut, and neither of them really had any, they kind of took out the fact that those were not, they weren't, so in the comics they're half brothers, and Kane Marco, aka Juggernaut, does not like Professor X at all. And they kind of didn't even put that in the movie, and that's kind of a really big thing to me when it came to the comics, was knowing that those two were half brothers and how much he didn't like him to begin with. So when they took that out, it kind of lowered the movies a little bit. Yeah, Broccoli Docklin says the Fox movies sure are something. That is true. I mean, there's a lot of things in those movies where they just kind of didn't quite get it. If you were a diehard X-Men fan or a comic person, some of those parts in the movies just didn't work. They didn't work for me. Like, for example, in the first one, when I think it was when Storm got pushed into the elevator shaft in the very first X-Men movie. And if you haven't seen these X-Men movies, I'm going to probably talk about them, and you probably should go see them. They're not. I'm going to say they're all bad, but they're not bad. They're still pretty fun. But when she got pushed in the elevator shaft, I was kind of disappointed because she's highly claustrophobic, and so I expected her to totally just do anything in her power to destroy the way, get out of that elevator shaft. And she really just kind of rose up, came out of the elevator shaft like no big deal, and said that line about a frog that gets hit by lightning or something, or toad, sorry, gets hit by lightning. I was like, no, I think she'd have been panicking about the fact that she was in an elevator shaft, but that's just me. Everybody's got their, again, own take on things, and I don't mind having people, film people kind of give their own spin on a show. But, I don't know, there's some things when it comes to comic movies you shouldn't really change. It's just too important. And you're going to get hit by a lot of different things. Now, of course, there's some things in some of the Marvel shows that have been out there now that I just didn't know. Like, for example, when I watched the Moon Knight series with my son, there were some things, I didn't really know much about Moon Knight. So all of it was really cool to see, but I'm sure there were some things that weren't comic accurate that might have not gelled well with certain people. But I wouldn't know those because I don't know much about Moon Knight. So to me, the Moon Knight from that show now is all I really know about Moon Knight. I could go do some research on it, but there's a lot of other things I'm going to do. So I'm not sure if I'm going to have time to do the research. Again, I'm going over his face one more time because I want to make sure we get that color on there quite well. I am going to do a wash on it later, and you'll see how that's going to turn out. But again, we're going to go over his hand again. I want all these things to have a double coat because this color doesn't fit. It doesn't, the gray underneath it doesn't work very well on top of. And I don't water down my paints. This is straight paint from the actual bottle. I'm not watering it down at all, and I'm just putting it on as thick as I can because that's just how I paint. Some people water things down. Some people use wet palettes. I think Low Quitter Gaming uses a wet palette, I believe. But I don't use that. Again, I'm just dropping. We're just slopping some paint on. We're dropping it on the table. That's the plan here. Get a couple, and most of the time I don't ever even do 2 coats. But when it comes to this flesh color, I have to because I just don't like how it is. Oh, Jason is here. Jason, it is great to see you. Thank you for joining us. We are doing some Marvel United painting. It's pretty awesome. It's good to see you here. We're talking X-Men and we're painting some X-Men. It's going to be super fun. Oh my goodness. And you have finally joined the realm of is finally turning into a spring-summer time. And we only have 1 week left of school. I hope everything is going well for you. And this week is actually going to be great. So I don't know if you have people that are in schools or not, but my wife has been really worried about the last week of school usually, but it's actually going to be a good temperature. Normally her classroom is about 105 degrees because, well, schools aren't air conditioned here. So it's pretty tough. But Jason, it's awesome to see you. Thank you for joining. I think 3.5 of the 10 movies are actually good. That might be true. It might be true. Brian, good to have you here. Thank you for joining. It's great to see you. Awesome to have you here. Apocalypse tracking Quicksilver's run always makes me laugh. This is true. This is true. I actually think I've only seen that movie one time. I don't even know if I saw that full movie at all. Oh my gosh, I have to check that one out again. My daughter is 10 and now heading into 6th grade with a new school. Oh, that's awesome. I've got a 5th grader who just went into his middle school for this year. So this has been his first year in it, and he's had a fantastic time. He's met some great friends, and it's been a really good thing. I hope your daughter has a great time out in her new school when she actually gets there. So next year, new school. Oh, that'll be super fun. Super fun. More people I've seen. I always feel like sometimes when you go to a new school or when you get a new school, you might still have a few people you know, but you also get to meet more people that are have the same interests as you, and it kind of really helped a lot with my son. That happened to him. He met a few more people that kind of have his hobbies and interests, so it's been really cool for him. Really neat. Twin Cities Academy in St. Paul. That's where, okay, that's cool. I'll have to check that out. I'm sure my wife knows a lot about it because she's big into knowing about the schools, but sadly I don't. When it comes to the education process, I kind of let her do a lot of the stuff. I do a lot of the nurse and health stuff for our kids. I leave the education stuff up to my wife. She's really good at that. So anyway, we are painting up. I'm working on right now. We're working on Logan here. My son is going to do a playthrough with me for Marvel United, and he wants to be Wolverine. So that's why we're painting up the Wolverine in this episode. And I have to decide if I'm going to be Cable or if I'm going to be Bishop. That's what I have to decide. So I'm going to need all of your help. Between both hospitals, makes it easy for wife at Regions. I'm in Stillwater, Lakeville. Oh wow, way out there. Okay, that's pretty awesome. Okay, good to hear. Good to know. Good to know. So yeah, that will be pretty easy. You can kind of move around. Let's see here. So this is what we're doing today. We're doing some awesome stuff. Jason, it's always great to have you here. Let's see here. We are going to. Oh, I have my card. I got my card. So we got the flesh on there. That took a little while. Not a big fan of painting flesh. We got that on there. Here's the card. So next thing we're going to do is I'm going to kind of do his coat, I think. Now notice he has this like stuff up here. I might just leave. I might have to paint. You know what? I'm going to do this with I'm going to do 3 different browns all through here. That is what we're going to do. I'm going to do my snakebite leather, my other type of brown, and then I'm going to do a real light brown. So I think this might actually be pretty easy. It looks like he's kind of got some blue jeans on. I don't have blue jeans color. I'll tell you that right now. But we're going to have our best shot here. So let's start with some snakebite leather. Let's grab that from up on top here. I've got all my colors right up here. I haven't added too many new ones since the last time we painted. I do have those 3 speed paints that I might use one of the blues on my speed paint today. I might use one of those for my blue jeans. We'll see how it goes. It'll be pretty awesome. Let's check it out. Oh, I think snakebite leather is right here. Yep, here's snakebite leather. Give it a good old shaky shake, because I always like to shake up my paints a little bit. And we'll put them in this awesome thing that I got from Ryan up here. This is amazing. I love it. This prevent me from spilling my paints for sure. Feeding the cause. Jason, thank you so much as always. It's good to have you here. Thank you for the donation. That's amazing. Keeps the cause going for sure. It keeps the cause going. Always good to have you here. Thank you for joining so early. Last time we did this, you weren't able to make it to the very end, so it's good to have you here at the beginning. Have you been able to play much X-Men? Do you play this X-Men game? Do you know X-Men? I've been always loving the X-Men. I used to actually go up to Dreamers Games and pick up HeroClix when I was young. Actually, I think I've got a whole bunch of them here somewhere. Where did I put them? I actually was using them. Yes, here they are. I've got HeroClix galore. I've got like a whole bunch of these little guys. This is a game I used to play all the time. Here's Red Skull. For those of you who have never seen HeroClix before, HeroClix is a game where you play 1-on-1 against each other, or you could play 2-on-2 or 4 against 4. You can kind of do whatever you want. But each one of these characters has these little dials here. I don't know if anybody's played this game. And each of these dials have different powers, and you kind of, as you take damage, you'll go and you'll click through them to see what happens, and then the powers may change and they may get different things. So it's pretty cool. I've got a whole bunch of these guys. Like, here's just a bundle of them. The reason I'll tell you. Here's a funny story. Why do I have all these HeroClix sitting here in front of me? That's a great question. So I played Marvel Champions with some people online, and so I thought it'd be cool because my son did this, and it was really a lot of fun. He put all these. We decided whenever we played one of the characters, you could get all the different allies, and you'd put them out there. I put these guys right on the cards, and it was just fun because they had like miniatures on the cards. How often do you get to use miniatures on a card game? So we did that. But yeah, I've got all sorts of different kinds. It's pretty neat. It's pretty awesome. We have a Dreamer that just opened over here in Burnsville. It's owned by the same guy who owns the one over in St. Louis Park. Oh, that's cool. That's really neat. So I didn't know there's multiples. There are now, huh? HeroClix. Oh man, love me some Mage Knight, and had a HeroClix also. Yes, Mage Knight. It's made by WizKids, isn't it? So it does have that same clicking thing, I think, for the castles. If I remember right, for it, they have the same click mechanism. But yeah, these are kind of cool. I've been using these for. I played this game a long time ago. I stopped playing it. I don't know why. I just kind of got out of it. And so yeah, I used to actually judge this game when I was younger. Younger being like only like within the last 8 years, I think. But yeah, all these characters have different powers. Like here's Doctor Strange. So I was playing with Doctor Strange in the game. But anyway, I've got a whole thing of HeroClix. I got so many HeroClix. It's unbelievable. My wife probably wishes I would get rid of my HeroClix. I think she's been wanting to get rid of them for a long time. But they keep on appearing for different reasons of some kind. Let's grab our snakebite leather. I have it right here. Let's open it up. I'm getting back to painting. I'm only going to get through one character if I keep talking and showing stuff. Let's see here. I'll get some paint on the brush here. There we go. And we're going to want to get his coat. We're going to get his coat with this. So we're going to start up here and just go down the coat. I'm going to get some more paint on here. And this is the deal. Let's see here if I can actually get some of the paint out of here. Oh, I think I grabbed the wrong one. This might not be snakebite leather. Nope, this is skeletal horde. No wonder it was so soft there. Here's my snakebite leather right here. That's what we need. When did Marvel get tied up? When did Marvel get tied up? Pumpkinhead, what are you talking about? Get tied up. When did Marvel get tied up? It's I don't know. You'll have to explain to me what you mean by that. Tied up. Oh, there we go. Now I got my snakebite leather. This is good. This is the one we want. Because that's going to be a way better color. Yeah, that's cool. Oh, this is going to be awesome. I'm actually pretty excited for this. I think this is going to work out really well. So we're going to go all the way around this. This coat is going to be this. Oh, did I spell something wrong? No way I spelled something wrong. Oh, that's awesome. I'll have to change that when I do that. I'll let you get to paint, and I got some stuff to do around the house. Take care until you stream again. I'll catch you then. I'm going to be playing some Conan. Found a used copy. Oh, congratulations. I have yet to play Conan. I don't have that. I've heard good things about it, and I haven't had a chance to try it. Jason, please drop in anytime. It's always awesome to see you. And if I didn't paint anything and got to chat with people the whole time, that would be okay with me. Totally, totally love it. Can't believe I spelled something wrong in my video. That's unbelievable. Because, of course, I always do. For those of you who know, that is actually my kryptonite is spelling. Spelling is my kryptonite. I can never spell anything correctly. But we're going to go around this entire coat here with this snakebite leather. Now, I don't want to get it on the fur part of it as best I can because I'm going to paint that with a different color. But I think this snakebite leather is going to do a really good job on this coat. Now let's make sure that, okay, now I have to be careful. If we look at our card here, again, I want to try to make it as iconic as I can. There is a lighter one here that's going to match that same color on the sleeve, so I don't want to do that. Yes, there is always laughter when it comes to my spelling. Always laughter. So we want to go around that cuff if we can here. So let's see here. We're going to go right around it as careful as we can so we don't hit it. There we go, just like that. Perfect. And get underneath here. There we go. Just like that. Boom. You spelled disaster perfectly every time, though I have a plan. This is true. Disaster and I have a plan usually go hand in hand. They're usually the same thing. Disaster and I have a plan are probably the two most common words that go together in anything I do. I actually just completed a playthrough a little while this afternoon where I had a plan, and guess what? It didn't work. You have to watch the playthrough to find out where my plan was that went awry. I'm excited to get it out. When I got it recorded, I have to edit it up. It'll be good fun. Getting some more snakebite leather on this coat. We're going to go all the way around this coat. This is going to look really good. Wow. My son has definitely picked a character that's going to be fun to paint. The reason why it's going to be fun is because when it's done, I think it'll look very similar to what it looks like. I think that'll be the plan. Bill, it's awesome to see you. Thank you for joining. Bill is here. Best laid plans. Yes, my best laid plans usually don't work very well, but sometimes they do. And it's kind of funny because when I do play with Colin, when I get a chance, he'll be like, okay, I think we should do this. Maybe we should do this. I go, no, I'm going to do this. I got a plan. He goes, oh, good. I'm super excited for your plan. And he always just lets me do whatever my plan is. Most of the time it doesn't work, but we have a good time. And that's all that matters because it's always fun to see what the plan is. So then I'll go off and try something and it doesn't work, but sometimes it does. And then there's a lot of happiness and joy in the room, but sometimes it's not. I just got done playing, we played a lot of the game, the Lord of the Rings Journeys to Middle-earth. We've been playing that one a lot. We are playing the third campaign, that box of the third campaign, with miniatures that Bill painted. Bill painted all the miniatures for that, I believe. And they look absolutely fantastic. We had a great time playing it. We're on mission, I want to say 10. We're really cooking through this game. We had a chance to play for an entire day out at Fantasy Flight's Game Center, or it's called Game Centers now, I guess what you call it. But they were having a Marvel Champions convention. HeroCon is what it was called. So Colin and I went to HeroCon, but we didn't go to HeroCon. We sat outside HeroCon in the Game Center and played Journey to Middle-earth for, I think it was 8 or 9 hours straight. So it was super fun to do that. We had a really good time doing it. We got some food from Fantasy Flight. We played Marvel United, not Marvel United, I'm painting Marvel United. Played the Lord of the Rings, Journeys Middle Earth the whole time, and some people from the con could kind of jump out and say hi whenever they wanted to. So it was a really, really good time. We had a great time. But yeah, Bill painted all those miniatures. If you're looking for some good miniatures to get painted, of course, I'll always say check out Bill. Bill does a fantastic job. Which reminds me, I still have to try. What game was it that Colin said I need to get a hold of and play? That you painted, Bill. It was the one that has kind of the cartoony look to it, from the whole Cuphead look to it, from the old 40s or 50s cartoon look to it. I keep forgetting what the name of that is. But anyway, we're gonna get back to painting our game and painting our dude here. That's our plan here. We just finished the game of the Infinity Gauntlet. Made it to thanks, and he only had 1 stone. He killed us on the first turn. That's awesome. That's usually how it goes. Thank you. Yes, that's exactly what it is. Nailed it on the head right there. Townsfolk Tussle. Yes, I have to try that game still. I haven't had a chance to play it yet. I feel kind of bad. I need to get to playing that game. That is what I need to do. All right. That one I've heard is a lot of fun. Colin has a copy. I just got to snag his copy and play it. We're continuing on here with some snakebite leather on the coat. This is going to be cool. Let's see here. I think it's going to... I don't want to get it on the fur part here is the problem. And I think I did. No, I didn't. I didn't get on the fur part yet, but I'm getting really close, so I got to be careful. Right in there. There we go. And we want to keep that cuff from getting paint on it as well. That's the deal. Because that cuff is going to be a different color as well. But the snakebite leather is perfect for this leather jacket, hence the word leather. Leather jacket. Now, I could use the other leather I have from our speed paints. We have the speed paint leather as well, but this one I've noticed is a little bit more red than the one from Games Workshop. The Games Workshop one is more brown, so it works perfect for this particular coat. Now, if I wanted more red leather, I would use that one. We're going to go straight down the coat and try not to hit anything else. If I do, it's not going to be the end of the world because I'm going to be using a darker brown on this part, the part that you can see here on his chest. So if I do hit it, it's not going to be the end of the world. I think we got his coat pretty much done. That looks fantastic. Super, super good. I'm pretty pleased by the coat. I think it'll look good, just like that. Get in some of these cracks here real quick before I move on. I think we're good now. I want to make sure there isn't any pooling that I don't like. That's the other thing you have to watch for with our contrast paints is sometimes they pool. It's a pain to paint in that 1930s tune style, but it was fun at the same. I bet it was really cool to do because you got to challenge yourself, I'm sure, trying to do that because I would have never probably had a chance of painting that thing very well. Though I saw the miniatures you did, and if anybody's looking for that, I think, did Colin do a playthrough? I think he did a playthrough of it already. Those miniatures are fantastic. They're really cool looking. But it must have been a cool challenge to try to do. I really enjoyed seeing those miniatures. All right, we got our coat. Our coat is done. That's fantastic. Let's look at the rest of his card here. So he does have his dark brown, like I said, is going to go in there. You're, of course, welcome, Bill. You're welcome. It's always awesome. We are going to paint these. Now, this looks blue, but I'm actually going to go black on his hair. I'm going to do black on his hair, but we have to save a little bit of this white part here. I don't know where we're going to find that. It doesn't actually have a definition here, so I'm actually going to I think I see the one I'm going to use, and you'll see as I paint what I'm going to do here. And then we have some lighter brown I'm going to use, some darker brown, and then, oh, this is going to be perfect. So his belt does look like it might be a different leather, and it looks like I might be able to use that speed paint leather through here, and he's got a metal buckle. And I'm also going to do those with that red. I think this will be great. Wow, this is going to turn out really good, I think. Okay, we've got our snakebite leather done. I'm going to close that up and put it away before I spill it all over the place. And I'm going to go to the dark brown. The dark brown is going to be our wildwood. I'm going to use our wildwood here. Wildwood is super dark. Painting with Low Quitter Gaming, he was talking about how he sometimes thins this one down. And again, I don't thin down paint. So I have the ability to, because I think I have the medium to do it for contrast, but I just don't. All right, let's get this darker part here. I'm going to put it right across this whole part here. Trying again not to hit. Now this time I don't want to hit the coat. If I hit the coat, it's going to go over the top of that because it's a darker paint. So we're just going to go right along his entire chest here, and I don't want to hit that belt either. I get the buckle. I can hit the buckle because I'm going to paint that with a metal, and the metal will go right over the top of it. But I don't have a way of saving myself from the belt he's got. Okay, I think that went okay. We got that on there. So I don't know if people notice, but how I do this, I'll find like the corners and paint it this way. Then I'll tip the miniature, go for a different corner over here, different miniature over here. I don't try to just stay on one area and try to push my brush around. I actually push the miniature around to keep my brush still in the same, doing the same motions, if that makes any sense. Now I did notice I missed a little bit of the coat here, so I'll have to go back. All right, I think we're good there. I'm going to do a little bit more right down here. There you go. And I don't think there's any more brown. Right here, it really doesn't. I think, what am I going to do with that? Should I just paint this all brown? I think I'm going to paint this all brown. He's got a turtleneck. I've declared turtleneck time. He's going to have a turtleneck. So turtleneck on. I'm just going to paint this right here all brown. There we go. He has a turtleneck on. I've declared that. There we go. Right up in there, Wolverine turtleneck. There we go. Okay. Though most likely that was probably flesh. But we're going to go turtleneck. All right. Good stuff. All right. I think we're good there. I don't think I need this brown anymore, so we'll pack this brown up, put it away, and we're going to grab not snakebite leather. We're going to grab our skeletal horde is the next one I'm going to use. We're going to use skeletal horde to paint up the fur parts of this. I think it's going to be the closest I'm going to get. Turtleneck power! Yep, that's right. Turtleneck power. That's what we got. He's got turtleneck power going on here. So this is where I'm just going to paint this on top of here a little bit. And I don't mind it being lighter than I normally would put it on, because I don't really need it to stand. I want it to not stand out as much as that snakebite leather. And I'm just going to put it right on there just like that, and boom. I think that should be okay. I think that's going to look okay. These look really good. All right, let's get a little bit more right on. There you go. All right, perfect. Just like that. Excellent. And then I do need to do that on the cuffs here as well. If I hit the skin, not a big deal. I'm going to go over the wash, and if it gets a little dirty, that's not a big idea. It's Wolverine. He's usually probably not the cleanest person on the planet anyway. Though I'm not going to be the one that says that. Oh, I just did. There we go. A little bit more here. Excellent. There we go. All right. And a little bit more in this one now. I did notice I hit this with a little bit of my flesh color, but you know what? I'm going to call it okay. I'm going to call it okay because I don't think you're really going to tell in the grand scheme of things. Maybe you will. And I know I will. So that's going to cause me pain and agony. So I'm going to change that up. We're going to fix that. I'm going to take a little teeny brush here. See, find one. Here it is. Take this little teeny brush. There's a little teeny brush, and I've got my gray sear right here. I always keep this paint handy. This is my oops, I made a mistake paint. Gray sear, make a mistake paint is what we call it. I can just open that up, grab a little bit of gray sear off of this thing. Though this pot is so dead right now, I need to get a new one. There we go, get a little bit on there. Should be good. This is what I use to touch things up. So wherever I hit with a different color paint, if I can put that gray on there, then I can re-go over it with another color, and it'll be fine. There it is right there. There's my mistake. I'm going to put the gray on it. And then I'll go over that after it dries with my skeletal horde color again. This is my oopsie paint. Like I said though, the paint pot's getting pretty dull and dry in there. There is a way to like save paints that are dry, but I normally just go buy another one. It's usually the deal. I do it like that. There we go. I've fallen out of love with Citadel paints. Hate the pots, they dry out. This is so true. Very true. Oh my gosh, they do dry out. I mean, I've got an entire collection of dead pots that I think I maybe used a little bit out of. Let's see if I can find some here. I mean, let's see here. Where are they? Here's some. I mean, now all I use them for is to put my miniatures on when I stand them up. I mean, all of these are all dead. This one's dead, dried out. This one's dry. This one's dry. I mean, these are all old Citadel paints, but still, I mean, these are dry. I mean, the paint's not moving in that anymore at all. All this. I mean, I barely used it. Barely used any purple. But is it good? Nope, totally dead. My white, totally dead. I mean, yeah, like you said, paint pots do dry out a lot faster. I've had these paints forever. All of these Army Painter paints I have had forever. They have not dried out for me. The pots have not dried out. I mean, even the contrast paints, I had to get a different snakebite leather because my snakebite leather started to go bad on me. So I had to get a different snakebite leather because you can never leave home without snakebite leather. It is a phenomenal color. Absolutely one of the best colors on the planet. So Yeah, I know what you mean. They dry out pretty quick, don't they? Yeah. What can you do, though? All right, back down to paint here. I'm trying to use all mine up and just go to my dropper bottle paints. That's true. That's exactly what I'm doing. But the washes are the best. This is true. Tons of washes up there, and I will never stray from those washes. They're all up here. I actually have Army Painter washes over here, but I rarely ever use them. I always use the GW washes. I enjoy them. They do a fantastic job on washes for sure. That is for sure. Hopefully our gray has dried now. Let's grab some of this and see what happens here. I'm going to just run it across and see if it works. Yeah, there we go. Dried enough for it to go on there. Perfect. I'm going to run it a little bit more here. Army Painter washes always seem too heavy. That is, yep, that's exactly right. It almost seems like it's darkening the miniature more than I'd ever want it to. That was the problem I had with it too as well. Let's see, a little bit more on there. I don't want to get them too dark, especially across, but I do need to put it around the back here. There we go. Get underneath. There we go. Okay. Oh, and I'm going to put some of his beard here. That little beard part. Remember, he had his little, his little tufts of hair. I'll put a little bit on that too. There we go. A little bit right there, just like that. Skeletal horde on the beard. Yeah, I think they'll be okay. That'll be the deal. I'm still trying to finish up my MU Season 1. Have like 8 more to go before I start up X-Men. Oh, all right. All right. That's good. You're just shooting right along there. I have to admit, this is the first miniature I've painted out of the Marvel United set. I don't have the original Marvel United. Colin does. He picked up that one. I picked up the X-Men ones, more because I'm an X-Men fan, I think, than he is. But he has all the Marvel United stuff, and I do not. All right. We're done with the top part. I think it's looking pretty good. I'm going to do his hair here, I think, at the end, because I'm going to probably hold it in order to paint with it. I don't like to use those holders that some people do. Some people even use pots to put their guys on like this, and they can then hold it like that and paint on it. I don't. I like to be right up and personal with my miniatures, so I don't ever use the paint or the guy holders. I have one, but I don't use it. Let's grab our hardened leather, and I'll show you the difference here. This is going to be really good. First off, of course, if you haven't seen this before, these Army Painter speed paint bottles are amazing. They've got little shaker things in it. You can hear that. It shakes it up the paint. That's fantastic. I think those are fantastic. So that's really cool. Tell Colin he can't play X-Men with you until he lets you borrow Unsettled. That's actually funny. You should mention that. He doesn't know this yet. I'm going to talk to him tomorrow and see if I can actually borrow that. I'm going over on Thursday to potentially play more journeys with him, and I'm hoping to maybe borrow Unsettled that time because I want to do a playthrough for the channel. I've played it once with him and I enjoyed it so much. I actually played it twice with him, and I want to play it again with him. Or I want to play it for the channel. I think it'd be really cool. Barrett, can you buy those metal balls for your regular bottles? Yes, you're right. You can. I just don't. At this point, I just might as well. I've been shaking these pots for so long. Keeping them on their last leg. I should buy some especially for something like the. I don't know if you have these. Was it the Militarium green? That white on the bottom is so hard to get off of there to be able to use. I should probably get a few of those to put in some of the pots that are hard to keep to get shaking once you get going. I should probably do that. Even use it for the Citadel pots. Yes, I should probably get some. You're absolutely right. You should right. You should send me a link to that so I can know where to get them from. Oh, listen to me. All right, we're going to grab some of that leather here and paint it on his belt. And you're going to see then this is the leather again. This is Speed Paint's leather. And you're going to see the difference in the shade of it, which is really cool. So see how it's more of a red leather than the Citadel's other leather. If you look right at that, see how the difference is? It might not be too much of a difference, but it's pretty sweet. I love it. I have used glass beads from the craft store before. Oh, that's not a bad idea. That's a good idea. I'll see you in Discord, Baron. Thank you. Send it in Discord. I support that. Thank you very much, Pumpkin. Love it. I never thought about that. Glass beads might be a great idea as well. I'll have to look into that. We're going to go and paint this belt all with the same color. I think that'll look really good. There's two different shades of this leather. Looks really neat. Okay, so far Wolverine is rocking. Wolverine is rocking here. I'm pretty excited about it. He's got blue jeans on. This is where I'm going to fail, but that's okay. And all these little things he's got back here, I'm going to use that same leather for it. All these little pouches. He's got all these pouches that are attached to this belt. We're going to use the same leather here for that. I think it'll look really good. All the pouches. Don't know what he's carrying in the pouches, but he's got pouches. I mean, everybody's got to have a pouch here and there. That's the deal. So we'll put another pouch right here. I'm going to paint that with the same leather. Just like that. Our pouches are all leather pouches. And like I said, this is the Wolverine that comes in the Days of Future Past box that we're going to be playing. The story we're going to play. Now, I don't have the Sentinels ready to paint yet. That's actually probably might do that in the next one. Might paint our Sentinels in the next one because that'll be pretty cool. To paint up one of those Sentinels. They're huge, they're big, and they look awesome. And I haven't had a chance to paint one yet. I have a couple Sentinels from my HeroClick days, but I've never painted a Sentinel. Now, it does also have a little leather strap right here. We're going to paint that also with this leather before we go into the pants here. Let's make sure I don't screw this up. Let's see, where's that strap going? First off, what is this? Is that another pouch? Let's look at the card. Of course, I'm not going to be able to see it. It doesn't show it on here. Or is that a buckle back there? I think I'm just going to go with it. I'm just going to paint it up here. We'll go right across it. We're just going to keep all this the same leather here. And then this strap, is the strap this, it has two, I think it's all one thing here. We're just going to paint this all. We'll go like this around it. If I'm wrong, oh well. That's the way it goes sometimes. We'll paint this all with that leather. And then I'm going to get that pouch again. Let's see how it goes. Sadly, the card stops at his waist. So now it's just me making stuff up. I like it better when they give me an idea what I'm supposed to do. There we go. Getting a little bit more around here. Now we have the strap going down here and right here. It's going to go all the way around his leg. Hope I don't screw it up too badly here. Under his leg as well. Alright, I did hit his leg here. I'm a little sad about that. That's just the deal though. And I think part of his pants is there. But you know what? We're okay. Go with it just like that. Okay, I'm going to fix his pants here. That's going to be the deal. Your eternal hunt when painting minis. Where does the strap go? It's true, because sometimes when people make these miniatures, like the strap starts one way and it goes like around their shoulder or something, it also just disappears for a little while and then it reappears somewhere in their back. You're like, where is the rest of the strap? Am I just going to make a strap up for this part? It is pretty funny because that does happen. It happens more often than you think, actually. All right. That, I think, looks pretty good. So we got some leather on him right there. Now, as you can see, I hit it right there. That's where I hit the leg. So I got to fix that. We're going to get our boo-boo paint right here. Our Gray Sea Gray boo-boo paint. And no, it's not Yogi Bear's Friends paint. It's my I made a mistake paint. That's my bad joke for the day. My boo-boo paint. All right, we're just going to paint that right over the top. This still might be a little bit too wet to paint on top. But that's okay. We'll try to get it to go over. No, it's still too wet. Nah. We're going to glop it on. We're going to glop it on. We're going to fix this. If I can get any paint out of this paint pot. All right, there we go. Just over the top of that. It's getting close. A little bit more. Oh boy. Well, look on the bright side. I really can't spill this out of the pot because it's so dead dry in here. I've had this since they started contrast paints. And it's funny because I've had my Army Painter paints longer than I've had my contrast paints, and the contrast paints are the ones that are dying on me. Just like they were talking about earlier. Pumpkin was talking about earlier, I think. He was saying the paint pots just dry out. Oh my gosh, really? Alright, there, I think I got some finally. Ooh, enough to get out of there. Okay. There. Alright, I fixed it up a little bit. Yeah. Look back here too, but I don't think back there really matters too much. Whoop. Oh, dropped my brush. That's fantastic. Okay. I think we fixed our boo-boo. At least enough. Well, we let that dry. I could go back up to his hair, but like I said, I'm using it as a thing. He's got blue jeans on. I've got a metal belt buckle here, and I got metal claws. Let's do the metal real quick. We're just going to use gun bolt metal, or not gun bolt, sorry, gun metal. As you can see, this has been cracked to pieces. I've used this paint forever. Like I said, these have had the... Now, funny thing is this one I've used so much, the top doesn't come off anymore. It just fully comes off. Oh, hey, it worked this time, but I guarantee you nothing's coming out of that. So I actually have gotten to the point where this just kind of pops right off and hangs out inside here. And then I just pour it onto my palette. It just works better that way. There we go. Get that out of there. There. Well, now I got it in my hand. I'm just going to grab it out of here. There we go. Grab some right there. Not the way you're supposed to do it. Don't try this at home. There you go. All right. Let's just get a little belt buckle here. Silver. Be super easy to do. Silver belt buckle. Now I might try to throw the red on it. It has a red X. So this is metal, and then it has a red X on it, I think. Nope, it doesn't. Okay. It does not have a red X. I was thinking about putting the red X-Men symbol in here, but I'm not going to. If you can see by the card, it looks metal. It all looks metal right here. So I'm not too worried about it. All right, good. And then we have his claws. Can't forget the adamantium claws. We're just going to do it with the gunbolt metal. Paint them up. Right along. I'm just going to run my paintbrush along them. There we go. Might hit his hand a little bit. That's okay. They're coming out of his hand, so what harm can come from that, right? There you go. Though I have to admit, one of the cool things from the X-Men movie I thought was kind of neat was when Magneto held him up with his power. I thought that was kind of neat because he had the adamantium skeleton through him. I thought that was kind of fun to see. Paint these up now. Watch out, I don't want to get his finger. I can get his hand, that's fine, but I don't want to get his finger. There we go. Oh, that is a great question. I have not had a chance to pick up the paint yet. I looked at it. I am trying to figure out what colors I want. Do you have any suggestions as to what I should get? There's so many. I didn't expect to see so many of those. What I'm talking about, Quitter Gaming has showed. If you watch the stream that I did with him, he showed me a set of paint that was unbelievable. Oh my gosh, I painted right on top of his hand. I'm a moron. So he showed me a paint that was super, super cool. It's a paint that kind of is different depending on what light you look at it in. It's like as you kind of turn it, the shade moves different colors. Excuse me. So it was really cool to see, and it's called Turbo Shift Paint. And he showed me some of it on his Dung Beetle night. It was amazing. So I asked him what it was. He told me, but I just haven't had a chance to pick it up yet because I'm not sure what color to get. They all look super cool, and I'm not sure what color to get for it. So if you have any suggestions, that'd be great. I don't really, sadly, also don't really know what I'm planning to do with it, but okay, so it's there, but it's not over on this side. So my problem is I hit the hand. Well, actually, I don't need to be using this because it was with my flesh color, and I can just paint flesh right over it because it's a real paint here. So I'm just going to paint the flesh right over top of this. There we go. Just paint the flesh on top. There we go. Boom. Just like that. Well, you can't see it. You look at my face. Awesome work, Barrett. That was amazing. That was super good video right there. So I accidentally hit the back of his hand with the silver. So I'm trying to rectify that situation. And by rectify, I mean ruin. There we go. I think that'll be okay. Okay. I think we're still on here. Still doing good. One thing I'm not going to be a fan of is having to paint his eyes, because I don't do eyes very well. I might just make them brown and call it a day. I think that'll be fine. All right. I think our gray is finished, so we're going to go back to... Did I hit the metal on that thing? Oh, wow, I did. Oh, man. All right, I'm going to hit snakebite leather again. I'm just trying to go over the top of that a little bit. Just dab it. Oh, no, it's not the snakebite leather. It's this one. Somehow I managed to hit this with my metal paint. Well, that was fantastic. So I'm just going to go over it a little bit with this. There we go. I hit it a little bit. Okay. I got a blue. We're going to try a new blue. It's this one. It's this Highland blue. This is a speed paint. I've never used it. We're going to see what happens when I do. It's either going to be really good, really bad, or you never know. So I'm giving it a good shake because I've never used this before, so I just want to really shake it up to make sure it's going to be okay. That's the plan here. We're going to paint his blue jeans with this and see how it goes here. That's going to be the plan. We're doing pretty good on time. It's only 9:30, and I've almost got this guy. Well, I don't have him almost done, but I'm doing a pretty good job on him. Let's open this up now and see what happens. I'm going to put this out on my palette, or not palette, but I've got one of these little things that's full of paint. You can just see all the paint little spots I got all over this thing. So I'm just going to put a couple drops on here just to see what happens. 2 drops. There we go. So those are, he says that he has blue raspberry, 4D glasses, ground is lava, and dark net. Well, I probably definitely have to take ground is lava because my 9-year-old is a huge fan of the Floor is Lava show. So that would definitely mean I need to get that paint. But those 4 are the ones you think are pretty cool. I'm going to pick up all 4 of those and see what I think of them when I get a chance. And we'll probably see them on here at some point. Probably not right away. It's going to take a little while to get them, I'm sure. But I'll definitely get them and see what I can do about those. Thank you for the recommendations. Thank you so much. All right. Here we go. Blue jeans time. Let's see how this looks. Oh, actually, that's not too bad. That looks kind of like blue jeans. Look at that. Blue jeans. Just like this. Blue jeans. Don't you have the Army Painter denim? No, I don't. I didn't even know there's a color called Army Painter denim? Seriously? I don't have that paint. Maybe I do. I don't think I do, though. Wow, no, I don't think so. I've got ultramarine. I've got deep blue. I've got, let's see what else I've got up here. I've got crystal blue. When you believe in crystal blue, you believe in me, right? There's an old commercial. No, I do not have denim blue. There's a denim blue. That's awesome. I probably need to now own denim blue is what I need to do. That's something else. Wow, I learn something new every day. I tell you. Here we go. Yep, it's part of the Zombie Side set, I think. Interesting. All right, I'll have to look into that, Bill. That's amazing. I didn't know that. Thank you so much for telling me about it. Well, instead I'm using this one. This is my denim blue today. We're going to go with this one. It'll be fine. I'm actually thinking of putting like a brown wash on it afterwards just to make it kind of look a little banged up because his blue jeans are probably never supposed to be amazing, I'm sure. So we'll paint these right over here now. I'm going to have a little trouble getting into some of those little gaps there, so I'm going to switch my brush to a smaller brush. But for now, we're just going to go straight down this all the way around here like that. And get the thing here. There we go, right around the leg, a little bit like that. One last tip, get some plastic spoons and prime the back of them to try out the colors first. Oh, that's a really good tip. Thank you. When I pick them up, I'm going to have to pick up some spoons. Actually, I'm pretty sure I got some spoons upstairs. I got plenty of spoons. I'm sure I got plastic spoons somewhere in this house. We're trying to go around this without hitting the shoes. And funny enough, I don't know what would happen if I hit the shoes and tried to paint over with a contrast paint over one of these paints. I know I can paint contrast on top of contrast as long as it's darker. Alright. We're getting there. Blue jeans coming together. Some more blue on the brush here. And at this point now I'm supporting my hand because I don't want to mess this all up here. I'm going to go right across here. This might not work. We'll see. Okay, good. That's dry enough. There's a little bit of that blue in there still, but that's okay. All the way down. This is just a mold line here. You're going to see a mold line on this miniature, and there's not much I can do about that. I'm just going to go right over it. I could file those down if I want to, but that takes time. I do file down some miniatures, but usually those are ones I'm building myself. So as I'm punching them off the spur, I'll see the mold lines, and I'll file them down as I'm doing that. I should probably do a building episode one day. Like I could build up some either Kingdom Death Monster, or I could do some Shadows of Brimstone. Can we do some of that? I could build some of those up. See, you think I can get in here without screwing this all up? We'll see. Ooh, I think I did. Wow, what do you know? I amaze even myself sometimes. That's how it goes. It's a seam in the jeans. Yeah, seam. I'll go with that. That's pretty awesome. Yep, it's the seam for the jeans. It's actually right. Actually, almost could be right where a seam is, which is kind of funny. A little bit more, and I think we're going to be done with the blue jeans here. Again, I might go over them with a brown wash and see what happens. I'm not sure how good that will be, but it could be a disaster. It could be good. It's one of those I have a plan concepts. We'll see if the plan works. I just need to get underneath the miniature here now. Let's see if I can do that. Oh, I'm dropping them all over the place. Oh boy. Right like that. We'll hope I hit it. I don't know. Sometimes you can't see. Sometimes you navigate by feel here. I think I need a little more blue on the brush is what I need. There we go. I think I got it. Alright. Looking pretty good here. A little more blue on that part. Yeah. I think Logan's coming along okay. Not too bad for X-Men here. Alright. Looking okay here. I think I need to get a little more blue if I can right in there. I don't trust myself right there. We're just going to leave that as is. Otherwise I'll screw that up. I do see a few places that need some work. I need to touch this up right here. There we go. And there we go. You're not sure what you're planning to do with the base, but I painted them red and blue to easily distinguish between villain and hero. Oh, that's not a bad idea. Yeah, that's a good idea. I might do that. You'll need purple for this set. Ah, yes you will. Yes you will. Some of the heroes and villains in this set, which is pretty cool, is they can be both enemies or they can be heroes for when you're playing Marvel United X-Men, which is pretty neat. I think that's kind of cool. Like, for example, Magneto. I mean, he's helped the X-Men and he's been an enemy to the X-Men, so it's cool that those characters can be both. I'm not going to be using Magneto. I really was thinking about using Magneto in this for this playthrough, but I decided against it. We're going to have to decide. I still need everybody's help. We're eventually going to have to decide which character I'm going to play, which will be pretty sweet. I'm excited to see what the vote is going to be. But anyway, we've got our character pretty close to done here. I'm just going to do these shoes, and then I do have to do the base. I've already made some boo-boos on the base, so I'm going to have to clean some of those up with my gray. And as after I paint the base up fix some of the base here, we'll do the hair and we'll pretty much call it good. But I do still have to do the wash on the face as well as getting some brown on the eyes. I might just dot them brown and call it a day. And we're getting close. We're getting close. All right, we're going back to Wildwood. Because for those of you who have ever seen me paint, Wildwood is what I always consider to be my shoes. That's my plan. If you're looking for a great video on how to paint these, other than mine, of course, Ryan over at Meeple Nation, I might put a link to that one in this video. He went through and did the core box. He painted the entire core box and set out all the paints and what paints he used where and how, which was really cool. So if people want to take a look at that, and you can see he did a fantastic. He's a better painter than I am. His videos was amazing, and it showed the core box in all its glory, painted completely, and what paints he used to do that. It looked really neat. He made them look really good. Now the sad thing is I have to be careful while I paint his foot. Normally I just slap this stuff on here because I'm going to put something on the base. Well, this thing's already based. It's got a really cool base already, so I don't want to mess that up. At least try not to mess it up. We'll see how good I do here. I'm going to mess it up here at the end here. Especially trying to get underneath this shoe. Underneath the shoe, all the way up to the edge. There we go. Okay, I did okay. Did okay. I'm going to try to get over here. Alright, see how I'm doing. Alright, I can't see what I'm doing. I'm just going to go in there and hope and hope. There we go. Kanji did some on his stream as well. Yes, that's right. Kanji also did some on his 800 stream. It's really cool. He had a picture of him looking like... He actually did a really neat thumbnail that had him looking like... who was the painter, the famous painter? I think he passed away. And he looked... It was an absolutely amazing thumbnail. That was super, super good. He's also a really good painter. You should see some of his work as well. He shows some metallic paints he's been liking. Nice. I'll have to check that out. I didn't get a chance to see it. It's on my queue of things to watch. But I haven't had a chance to watch too many videos. I've been actually pretty busy. It's just too bad. Bob Ross. Yes, that's right. Bob Ross. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, Bob Ross. That's for sure. He made him look like Bob Ross. It was really cool. So again, some Wildwood on the shoes. Not thinning it down, just going with it. right up along the side there. Turn the miniature, find the next place to paint right along the side. There we go. Just like that. I don't think I've hit too much of the base yet. Now underneath. See how that goes. Did okay. I think I'm okay. I hit a little bit of the base, but that's okay. We'll fix that up. I'm actually probably not going to use contrast on the base. I might just use real paints. I'm debating what I'm going to do. I'm debating. Put a little more brown on that, and I think we're good. So far, again, I think we're doing okay. I think he looks really close to who he is. I think that looks great. Let's get his hair done now. His hair is going to be next, and then we'll start working on that base. For the hair, we're, of course, going to use the all-powerful, what is it? The, where is it? Oh, here it is, Black Templar. I like Black Templar. Oh, oh my gosh. Oh, it's super good to see you. Mystic Eye Games is here. Wow. I haven't seen you in a long time. It is awesome to have you. Oh, so amazing. Yes, I am still using contrast. I am still using contrast, Doug. I have not I have them. It's just so hard to not use them when you have them. I did pick up a few. I picked up the Crusader Skin. I picked up the Highlight Blue, and I've also picked up, which was one, the Hardened Leather, which is really cool because I did a comparison between the Hardened Leather from Speed Paints and the Snakebite Leather from Contrast from GW, and it was interesting how much more red the Hardened Leather is. So that was really an interesting experiment to do. But Doug, it is amazing to see you. I hope all is well with you. I haven't seen you in a while or heard from you in a while. I hope things are good. It's good to have you here. Thank you for joining. We are painting up some X-Men United, which is pretty cool. My son and I are going to be doing a playthrough of this. We're going to be doing the Days of Future Past. So he has chosen to play Wolverine. So he's got his, so I'm trying to paint it up to make it look as close to this as I possibly can. I don't know. We'll see how I do. But we're going to go through, and we're doing his hair now. We're going to just we're just going to use the black. That's the plan. But yeah, I haven't switched fully to the speed paints, but as my contrasts die, I probably will move to speed paints, just because they're cheaper, which is super good. And I'm not a professional painter by any means, so it doesn't matter how expensive or cheap the paints are, it's still going to look like slop and drop on my table. So it doesn't matter. And so that's probably eventually which way I'll go. Very cool. Yes, very cool. Very cool. Yes, Doug. Very cool. It's very cool to have you here. It's awesome to see you. For those of you that don't know, that is Doug from Mystic Eye Games. He is also a YouTuber. He is one of the reasons I actually started. I watched his channel for many years and decided, you know what, I think I might be able to do something like that. He's one of the inspirations for me starting my channel, I tell you. Of course, of course. So if for those that don't know Doug, I don't know how that could possibly be. Go check out his channel. He does amazing games. He's been doing games for a long time. And he does a fantastic job at it. I really enjoyed your zombie side, the new one you did just recently. That was a lot of fun to watch. I still have not yet played a zombie side game. I know I'm a weirdo. I don't know how I haven't played a zombie side game yet. Oh, that's good. I think I screwed. Oh, that's good. I think we're going to go right up on top of here. I forgot that his hair is also white on some parts. That's okay. We'll just keep on going. There we go. Just like that. That's good. We got to play Nemesis Lockdown on PC. Yes, we do. We'll have to try some Tabletop Simulator sometime. We'll have to see if we can get it going again. Because that Nemesis, I played a game of Nemesis with Doug on the computer one time. It was really fun. They also have what do you call it? They have that video game now. If that's what you're talking about. Oh, I forget what it's called. It's is it called Lockdown? I think they have like an actual video game. There's a new app for it. There's a actual game that they're making, kind of like they did with the Tainted Grail. For those that don't know. Yeah, it is. Games, it is. Yes, it is. It is. That's true. They did the Tainted Grail, which is on Xbox, so I did actually pick that up for myself. I tried a little bit of that. It was fun. Of course, these games have Tainted Grail is nothing like the board game on the video game version, but I think the Nemesis one they're doing is pretty much supposed to be super close to the one from the game. Great Touch of Evil playthroughs as well. Yes, very, very, very true. Doug has an absolute mountain of the Touch of Evil playthroughs, and every time one hits, I watch it because I don't own the game, and I see it and I watch it. It's really fun to watch. He does a great job at those, and it's always like you never know what's going to happen. One of my favorite is when he had the community, I think, vote for some of the people he had to use, and they weren't really going to work well together, but it turned out okay. But yeah. So yes, it's interesting to see Awakened Realms move into that type of genre or that media. So I'm again just kind of painting up all of these hair parts black, except for I'm putting a little bit of white here. This one I'm going to have to go over again with the gray, sear gray right here, because I left it over here the right amount, but over here I did not. I painted a little bit too much on that side, but that's okay. That's okay. We'll fix that. Need some more paint. There we go. Keep on going. Now the back of this is just going to be all black. I'm not going to have any of the gray in his hair yet. But I do want to keep, and it's interesting because they do have a little bit of a ridge here, so I can kind of keep that gray different than the black part. But you might not be able to see what I'm doing right now because it's kind of hiding behind his claws. I'm going down across all these. Now Doug also paints miniatures up. He's done a fantastic job. His Marvel United was painted. He worked on the heroes. He did a playthrough of the street fighting heroes, which makes me think that next thing is Ken and Ryu are going to appear along with Guile and Blanca. But no, he did the street level heroes like Daredevil and all those kind of guys, which is really cool to see. It was neat to see those ones. You are way better. Well, thank you very much, Doug. Thank you, Doug. Thank you. All right. I don't know about that. I think like I say, I just got, my technique is slop and drop. I slop the paint on, I drop it on the table. And it's gotten even easier now with things like contrast and speed paints. Because as you see, I'm not even doing any dry brushes, not doing anything like that. This thing just hits the table once this is painted just like this. A little bit of gray up here I need to get. There we go. And I think Wolverine's hair is done. I just have to fix up this part right here, and I'll do that a little bit later. We'll do that with some gray sear gray, because that's my oopsie paint. And I think he's going to be close to done. Okay, the miniature is pretty close to done. I do have to do a wash, but I'm wondering if I should wait on the wash because some of this is still probably wet around here. I'm going to get his eyes. We're going to use this for his eyes. We're just going to, I'm terrible at eyes. I'm terrible at flesh. It's no good. I'm just going to put some of this on. Slop and drop equals Barron's shake and bake. This is very true. Very true. People that come to watch this, I hope you get something out of this. But it really is, I want to make people see that you don't have to be an expert painter to get stuff on the table. I'm only using one set of paints. I'm really just putting those paints on, dropping it on the table, and playing games. I'm not doing a lot of neat techniques. I'm not doing 9 shades of something. I'm not doing layer by layer by layer. I'm not doing anything remotely magical about this at all. I'm just dropping paint on a miniature and putting it on the table. And that's what I hope people get out of this, is that they can get to do this as well. Now this is going to be kind of tough. I'm going to get in here and do his eye. I'm going to do his eye with this brown. Let's see if I can do that. Of course, probably talking now. The brown is has dried off the brush. And I should, that's terrible, I should be using like a white and then do something else to make his eye look cool, but instead he's just going to have these brown eyes. They look pretty mean and evil, actually, now I think about it. Maybe that brown was not the best idea, but it's okay. It's okay. I'm not too worried about it. We're just gonna leave it as is. I think it'll be fine. Yeah, that's good. I don't know if anybody is a fan, but my wife and I did watch the first episode of The Orville, the new season that just showed up on Hulu yesterday, which was really fun. I'm a huge fan of The Orville. Just watched that. For those that have watched it, I hope you enjoyed it. We did. It was good. I started doing my eyes first with the MU because they are so freaking hard to do. True. And I'm just bypassing them. I'm just saying whatever and just throwing them brown. I hate eyes. I am no good at painting eyes. So that's just the deal. I'm going to get rid of these 2 paints. I don't need these 2 anymore. We're going to move to, let's see here. I need to get a little, I think I might put a little more black on there because I can still see some gray. That's the deal. right here. Mutton chops got a little, well, I'm going to have to go through this. All right, we're going to put some flesh back on there. Kind of screwed that up. Love it. We are going to watch the first one in a bit. Cool. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you enjoy it. One thing I think I really like about that show is the fact that it's Star Trek, but it's more like relatable to humans. Like, I don't know if that sounds weird. And of course their humor is really good, and they actually are trying to be funny at times. So it kind of works really well. I like that, but they still make it feel more like a show that is more relatable to us. Like, Star Trek is fantastic. I've watched every Star Trek episode there is, except for that brand new season that just came out. I'm waiting for that to be done, and then I'm going to binge watch it. But I've watched everything from Star Trek. But there's really never a lot of like deep issues that Star Trek really covers. I mean, for those who haven't seen the first episode of Orville, the captain and the what do you call it, the first officer, are like going through a divorce type thing. So that would be on Star Trek. Or that's why it's so funny that it's on the Orville and you get to watch it kind of play out. And then of course there's some humor that goes along with it. Of course, I'm not saying divorce is humorous at all. It is not. And sometimes but the way the show portrayed it, it actually kind of made some fun jokes about their relationships and things like that. And I thought that was kind of neat how it's more relatable to us as a society than Star Trek sometimes is. So I think that's one reason I like the Orville. Now, of course, I'm being all philosophical and junk like that. Let's go back to painting. So we got to fix this guy up here. He's got a few things that are wrong with him. So let's see what we can do about it. Strange Worlds. That's the one I haven't watched yet. That's the one I'm planning to watch. So I've had a lot of people tell me it's really good. So I'm excited to watch that as well. I haven't had a chance to see too much of it yet. I need to fix his hair. It's right here. I need to fix this little part, and I think we should be okay to fix it now. So we're going to paint this gray right on top of this. Though even though I'm painting this gray on top, it's still probably going to be a little tough to fully get that done. Because black is hard to paint on top of. But we'll see what we can do. We'll see what we can do here. Just like that. There we go. I think I fixed my boo-boo on his hair. Perfect. Yeah, it worked out okay. Now he's got to fix the skin. I screwed up on that. See, this is where now we've got all these colors going on this guy. But now it's almost like I'm trying to be too nitpicky at times here. So I need to find my barbarian flesh and put a little bit more out here. And try to fix... I kind of got a little bit too close on this hair into his cheek, and I don't like it. So we're going to fix it. We're going to go right here and just kind of swipe right past. There we go, just like that. I think it'll be okay. Fix his eye a little bit too. Yeah, I think it'll be fine. And then we're going to go over this with a wash so it'll actually stand out a little bit. I think it'll be pretty good. We're just going to get that done. And we're going to go to the... I think I can go to the base now. Because the rest of this is just going to be a wash going on top of this. Oh, I don't like his eye over here either. I screwed up his eyes real bad. Not a big fan. Let's see what we got here. There we go. I think it'll be good. Okay. I think it'll be just fine. Alright, we got him done to a point. We'll see how this goes here. Alright, that's done. Now we got to do his base. Alright. Okay, so he has probably one of the most complicated bases I've seen. Why can't his base be something like like Bishop's? Bishop's got a base here where it's just like, oh look, it's all metal, and then these like tubes. That'd be fantastic, super easy. Or we could do something like, well, I guess Cables isn't the easiest either. Look, Cables even has this bear on it, this like stuffed bear. I know there's a purpose behind that bear. I forget what it is. And wonder if it had to do with Hope. Well, I don't remember. Hope Summers. Did she have a bear? I don't remember. I don't know enough about the comics to know that. But his base has got a lot of... Actually, it might not be too bad. It's a lot of rocks. And it does have... Is this a cord? I don't know what this is here. Is this like a cord coming through it? Because remember, he's probably fighting Sentinels. So I wonder if some of this has to do with Sentinels and stuff. And this is like a... Maybe I'll do that in a brick red back here. No, it looks like a pillar of some kind. I might just be able to get away with painting this all gray and dry brushing it. I might be able to do that. Let's see what that entails. I'm going to put some ash gray down on this and see what happens here. I'm going to put a little bit of ash gray on my palette here, and then I'm going to paint up the parts that I kind of dinged a little bit. I'm going to paint those up first. So it's not going to be exactly the same color, but I'm not too worried, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a wash on it. I'm going to put a black wash across the entire thing. I think I've decided to do that. That's the way to do this base. I think it'll be the easiest to do. It might make it look kind of cool. We'll see how it all transpires. There we go, just like that. I know you can't see what I'm doing right now because it's underneath the miniature, but there's some of the base here needs to be gray. I want it all gray. Okay. I think we're good. Okay, while that dries, I am going to try to put that wash on. The speed paints do not work well with the darker primers. Came out terrible when I used the same color primer as you have here. I redid primer in white and it looked a lot better. I've heard that. I've heard that white is the way to go with speed paints, which is why I don't have many. Because I prime everything with gray. I prime everything with my airbrush, and I use, where is it? Here it is. Is this it? No, but I do have this. This actually, I could probably use this. So I do have white. I have the surface primer white. I have that one. I haven't used that very much because I'm a big fan of the gray. I use the gray all the time. This is the one I use. Now, of course, it's what is it? Light Ghost Gray here is what I've got. It's right here. Or, I mean, and of course the English is covered up here, but it's in different languages as well. Light Ghost Gray. This is the one I usually use, and I send it through my airbrush, so this entire thing can last me, oh, I don't know. I can't even count the number of miniatures I can get out of this thing. But when I use a spray can, I can barely get much out of it. I get maybe, I would say 30 miniatures at the most, maybe more, maybe 50, where I can get hundreds out of that one little pot there in an airbrush. The airbrush itself has paid for itself because of the amount of paint I can save on primers, which is why I got it in the first place. And very rarely I use it for other colors, but I do have some. I don't use it very often, mainly because I just don't trust myself with it. I think if I practice with it, I'd probably be a little bit better. I know for a fact I wouldn't be able to paint something like this miniature I'm doing right now, but if I was doing something, for example, this guy, if I looked at the picture of this guy, he's primarily black. Almost all of him is black except for the character sitting on top. So airbrushing this black would save me a lot of time as opposed to painting it with some Citadel black color of some kind. So that would be something to look into, thinking about using an airbrush. Or even maybe something like this, one of the ogres that I have here that I'm working on eventually. I might want to paint, I could maybe spray paint this thing a certain color. Of course, I wouldn't be able to use the contrast paints or anything on top of it because I'd probably hit part of his strap here and things like that with I'll show you down here, with the airbrush. I'd probably hit this strap with it because, again, I'm not very good with the airbrush. So I'd have to paint this with a regular color instead of using a contrast, which is one reason I don't use a lot of the times my airbrush except for priming, is because I like using the contrast. It's just so much faster to paint things. So, all right, let's see here. Where are we? We're going to do some Reichland Flesh. We've got Reichland Flesh right up here. These are all of my washes up here. I only have 4. These 2 are not washes, though they look like washer bottles. I'll show you these paints in a second. But we're going to grab Reichland Flesh. I mainly bought this because I had a army of Citadel miniatures. It was the, oh my gosh, what was the Golden Knights that I have? I have the Stormcast Eternals. The Stormcast Eternals. I had an army of Stormcast Eternals. So I bought Reichland Flesh because it actually works really well on top of gold. And so I use that on top of gold. What's this? I might break down and get an airbrush for the Kingdom Death Miniature Dragon King. Oh my gosh, that thing is huge. I have that. I have all of those miniatures. I haven't built anything except for the core box for my Kingdom Death Miniatures game. I might do that. Maybe I'll build a miniature instead of painting miniatures next time. And I could build up one of the characters or monsters from Kingdom Death. I will tell you right now, the Phoenix was the most pain in the butt because all the hands. I don't know if people have seen this online, but they had all these human hands you had to do. So we'll see and that one's done. I'm done with the entire core box. Oh, that would be cool. All right, maybe I'll do that. Doug, I might do that. I might build a miniature. I also was going to show people how to put these. What do I have? Here they are. I have all these little magnets. I was going to show people how to magnetize their Kingdom Death miniatures too, so that you don't have to ever. So you don't have to, because you can make them, but then you might get different weapons for these guys, and you wouldn't be able to use these. But maybe I'll show that too. Sadly, I've already painted this. I don't know if I've shown you this. This is amazing. So this is my baby. It's come home to me. This actually is Collins. This is Collins, but he came over and we played some of the Cthulhu Death May Die. We played that, and so this is the miniature I painted for that playthrough, and it can be found on his channel. It's also on my channel as well. But I painted this whole thing up, which was really awesome. This was a lot of fun. I did this in a day. This I used my airbrush on. I used my airbrush completely. My airbrush is this entire thing green, and I actually went through an entire bottle of green wash on this thing. But it was really cool to do. I even put some liquid water back down here over here, which is pretty interesting because I had to put a barrier of green stuff right here because the liquid water would roll right off of this, which was pretty cool. And then I used a gloss on this, so it looked like all wet. This whole thing looks all wet, and I made a gloss on it so it looked all wet. I think this is really cool. So one of my favorite things I've ever done. Sadly, I will not be able to do the Galactus because I'm not paying all that for shipping, which is sad. But I even put some of the liquid water down over here too, so it looks really cool. And his wing just fell off, but that's okay. He's got another one back here. They come off. I don't have them glued in. I decided not to glue in the wings so they can just fall off. That's the deal. But it's home here right now. But the interesting thing is, Colin and I think this is pretty cool. Sadly, neither of our wives enjoy it in the house, so I think that's one of the reasons it's here right now. Is his wife doesn't really want it in her house, and my wife has already told me I should be giving it back sometime soon. She's already said that, which is kind of funny. So that's the deal. Yes, that's very cool. Thank you, and it is awesome. You're right. It was super fun because I've never painted a miniature that big before, so it was really cool to do. But we're gonna jump back down here and do some more painting. I just wanted to show that off. That's one of my pride and joys. One of my pride and joys is that miniature. It was super fun to paint. I sat outside in the garage and painted that whole thing with my airbrush because I didn't have a way of venting it. So we're going to use some Reichland Flesh and just go right over this entire face here, which is going to probably really make his eyes look terrible. But I'm going to blot it out eventually because I'm just going to keep taking parts of it and moving it around to all the different parts of his flesh. And then wherever it's pooling, I will just blot out. So again, see how it's really right up into his eyes. His eyes look terrible right now. But we're going to go around this entire hand. We're going to go around all the flesh on this and get this with this Reichland Flesh. It's a really cool wash. I really like the wash. Anything from GW when it comes to washes is amazing. So again, we are just going to kind of dot these out. But I do want to get this a little bit up on top there. I want to get a little bit of up there. And next to the hair there we go, just like that. I think that'll be good, but I want to get it out of the eyes. Now the only thing I have left to do on his head is I need to put a black line on his eyebrows there. It's going to be delicate eyebrow surgery. We'll see if I can do it. Sadly, I'm not a surgeon. I'm just a nurse, so I don't have precision in my hands, but we'll see how it goes. There we go. I think that'll be pretty good. I think that looks good. Okay, so we got his hands and his face done. We just have a few more things left to do here. Whoop, I got a little bit on his claws, so I gotta dab that off and use my hand. That's fine. Alright, that's done. And then I think that's about all I got left. Oh, I want to get back in there. I missed a little spot. Okay, see, this is where I'm missing spots, so now I'm going to go back and hit these little spots here. Got my snakebite leather because I missed a little spot on his coat. So we're just going to go right in here. It's a little spot right back there. You can't really see very well. There we go, right there. And remember, I missed a little spot here, so I want to hit that with this snakebite leather too. There we go. Okay. That looks good. I want these to look really good. That's my plan. My son's counting on me. My son's counting on me. He wants Wolverine to look really cool. All right. So I think Wolverine is done. Now, not to distract from him, I don't want the base to distract too much from him. So we're just going to take a black wash and wash all over the place on this thing and see how it goes. We're just going to take this black wash. I should use a bigger brush than the brush I have, but I'm taking an absolute ton of this onto my brush, and that's just fine because we're going to blot this all around. Now, this is where I probably should find a way to hold this guy in a different way. I think I'm going to hold it like this. We're just going to go all the way around this entire thing. His entire base is going to be gopped with black stuff here. We're just going to do that. And I'm going to paint this. I got the good suggestion there, I think, by Pumpkin, who said just to paint his base blue so he know he's a hero. And I might just do that because that'll look really cool instead of painting it black. Now, I don't want it to pool too badly, so I'm going to be pulling from different areas and moving it around. That's what I'm going to do. But I don't mind just glopping it right on there. And then I can just start moving it around myself with the brush. And that's what we're going to do. I need more back here. There we go. Now, we're going to have to let that dry. So that's going to be the hard part. So now, as this is drying and as I'm getting this painted, I need to have everybody figure out, you need to all tell me. Vote now. Vote now. I need to play a character. This is going to be my son's. My son is planning to play Logan or Wolverine here. But I need to choose who I'm going to play for this playthrough. We're going to do Days of Future Past. So like I said, he's got his character here. I'm going to put a little of that in here too. I might put a little bit of it up here. Oops, I hit my hand with it. That's awesome. Give that a little bit of little bit of definition there. And I want to get the claws. I don't know what people thinks about this, but I always put Nuln Oil on anything metal. I don't think I've ever not put it on anything metal. So we're just going to put it on the claws. I'm also going to put it on his belt buckle here. There we go. Nuln Oil on the belt buckle. Nuln Oil on his claws. Good to go. This guy's looking sweet. Now I'm going to dry brush this entire part down here with like a white eventually. That's my plan. But vote now. Vote now. Here we go. Who are we voting on? Who are we voting on? For those of you that are joining a little bit later, I did mention this earlier, but I am going to be doing Days of Future Past with my son as a playthrough, and I have to choose the character I'm going to be. I'm either going to be Bishop, which if you're from the 80s cartoon, he's the one that came back and told us about the Days of Future Past in the 80s cartoon. Or I might be Cable. Cable's the other option I have. Cable's kind of cool. He's got a big giant gun, so that's kind of neat. And Bishop's just all around super cool. So I can't go wrong. So I'm going to have everybody decide what you think I should do. Should I do Bishop or should I do Cable? As you can tell, Cable's got a lot more going through him. But Bishop is also pretty awesome as well. Yes, here we go. Here comes the votes. Tough choice. I've got an tough choice. I'm going to even say oofda tough choice. That's the deal. We have Team Cable, so we have one for Cable so far. We have how about Bishop or Cable? Yes, there is Bishop or Cable. That's the problem. There's multiples here. What do I do? You'll understand if you read Manifest Destiny. I see. Team K. I've not read that. Bishop. I've got to vote for Bishop. I've got to vote for Bishop. I've got to vote for Cable. I've got another one for Bishop. We've got more Bishop coming in. So far, Bishop is the winner. We're going with Bishop. I'm letting this dry a little bit while we do this. We got another for Bishop there. That's another Bishop. Let's see what keeps coming in. Let's see. I need to find a good blue to paint around the rim that makes. I think the deep blue might be the best one. So far, Bishop is the winner. We've got Bishop as the winner here. It's got we got more Bishops here. Bishop is the winner so far. We got 1, 2 Bishops, a couple, and 1 Cable here. Cable, 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 Cable. What's the count now? I should have maybe prefaced that there is a 1 vote maximum. That's pretty awesome. All right. So keep on going here. Both great choices. Can't go wrong. This is true. They are both great choices. That's why I had a hard time. Boo. We got some boos going on. Got some boos going on. And I'm just shaking up some blue right now. It's not the blue we use for the pants. It's a different blue. I'm going to try this deep blue for the rim of the base and see what I think. It might be a little bit too dark, but that'll be okay. So we're going to keep the vote going until the end of Logan here. As soon as I get him done, we're going to close the voting. That'll be the deal. We'll see how it goes here. So let's go back down here, and I'm going to work on the base while this dries a little bit. Here. We're going to go around and paint this all blue right around here. And I think that might be a little dark, but I'm okay with it. It'll be fine. I think it'll be really cool to have the blue bases. I like that idea a lot. Puts glasses on. I'm Clark Kent and I vote for Bishop. That's hilarious. That's pretty good. Good try. Good try to get a double vote in there. Good try. That's pretty funny. I guess I'll go with Cable. So Doug is going with Cable. Hi, this is Steve. I'm over at Howard's place. I vote Cable. Really? That's pretty funny. Hi, this is Mike. I also vote for Cable. Okay, now I feel there's some cheating going on here. I feel cheating going on. Oh, you guys, everybody cracks me up. That's pretty good. We're actually tied right now, I think, at 2-2. Maybe I'll just paint both of them up and make it a big surprise when it actually happens. We have to watch the playthrough to see what actually happened. That'll be the deal. So not only can I say one vote per person, I have to say one vote per household now. I think I'll even have to go with that. No matter how many people are at your house there, Pumpkinhead, we're stuck with just only one vote for you. I'm going with some more blue across here. Now, if you're interested in seeing some Marvel X-Men United stuff, I know that Steve over at the what do you call it? The One Stop Co-op Shop streamed channel does a lot of stuff for Marvel United. I think he's done a ranking of the best campaign or best box sets and stuff you can get from the game. And I think he's doing like his favorite villains, and I think he's doing his favorite heroes or something to that. So if you're interested in learning more about that, that'd be the place to go to learn about that kind of stuff. He's an expert. He's an authority on this game. Anytime I have a question, he's the one I ask because he knows more than anything. We got laughters and boos, and the base turned out pretty good with the wash. Yeah, it's not too bad. I think it'll be okay. Steve likes Marvel United. Yes, this is true. Yes, Kim is great at teaching Steve how to play it. For those of you that don't know, Kim and Steve both work together on the One Stop Co-op Shop stream channel, play some great games together. And yes, a lot of times he'll be doing stuff and she'll be telling him what to do, and it's awesome to watch. They're a great team to watch play games together, for sure. We're just going right along the base with the blue, and there. I think that's pretty good. I like the blue on the base. Let's see if I screwed anything up too bad. No, I don't think I did. I didn't think I screwed this up too badly. I think I got it okay. I think it looks okay. We're okay with that there. That's going to be good. That'll be good stuff. All right. Yes, and Steve, it is good to see you. Thank you for joining. Steve has come. Here he is. She keeps me honest. Oh, that's pretty awesome. Steve, I have chosen between my two heroes. We've got as you can see, my son is going to be playing the Wolverine from the actual Marvel United, or the X-Men United one, the Days of Future Past. But I am still torn on mine. I don't know if you've seen, but we are doing a vote right now as to whether I should actually put a vote in the thing. I don't know how to do that. Steve will have to teach me sometime. Steve is like the master of anything electronic. I have decided that I'm going to either go Bishop or I'm going to go Cable. I'm not sure which one to play. They both kind of seem pretty thematic for the days. We're almost done painting this. We'll see what happens. Oh, I think I'm having an issue with my stream all of a sudden. Let's see how that goes. We'll see if it even jumps back in. I think it did. But there we go. I love getting to the rim of the base last. Call it victory lap, finishing off the mini. That is very, very true. It's like the last thing you usually do, and you're almost done. Now, there's a chance I'll probably go back and dry brush some of this, but this is going to take a while to dry because I used a lot of the Nuln oil on the base, so I'm going to let it go. But I think you're right. I think we are done with Logan. I think the Logan here is done. I think he looks pretty good. He's going to be hitting my table. My son is going to be playing with him in Days of Future Past. I have not painted up the Sentinels yet. We're still going to have to work on those. But now we have to decide. We're 2-2 still. Am I going Bishop or am I going... Oh, eyebrows! Thank you! Oh my gosh! Totally forgot about the eyebrows. Doug, thank you. Genius. Genius at work. I need to get his eyebrows done. So we're just going to grab black. Everybody's got black, hopefully, in their arsenal. Right here. Matte black. Throw it on here. Let's throw a little matte black, just a little touchy touch on this thing. And I'm going to paint up his eyebrows. I'm going to take the smallest brush I have. Now, hopefully this trick works. We'll see how this goes here. I'm going to put black on the brush. And interestingly enough, this is raised up on top of the miniature. So instead of going at it straight into this thing like this and try to hit that thing as best I can, like just straight at it, I'm actually going to come at it from the side and just kind of lightly go across it. And it should just catch the eyebrow because it's raised up a little bit. Yep, it did okay on that one. Now let's see if I can do it. Okay, this one doesn't seem to be raised up as much. I'm going to try to maneuver this miniature so I can do that with it. Oh boy, let's see if I can get this thing. Okay, I'm going to try to get it from the side here. I think I ran out of black on the brush. I think I did okay. There we go. I think we got the eyebrows. So yeah, just touching it on the raised edge, I think I was able to get the eyebrows. Of course, his eyes look super demonic, and he looks like he's ready to really destroy. I think he's really upset with Nimrod. I think he is totally going to take Nimrod down. But sadly, I'm not going to go back and do much with the eyes. We're going to leave them as is. I hate eyes. I am terrible at eyes. And besides, when the miniature's on the table, it's going to look like this. Nobody's going to pick it up and look at his eyes. That's the way I'm looking at it. And even if it's up on something like this and it's like on the board like that, nobody's even going to know. That's the deal. That's the way it goes. What do you got? Mechanically, Cable would be a slightly better choice. I love Bishop, though. Really cool, special, and unique. Thanks, Steve. That's fantastic. You didn't answer. You didn't help at all. That's great. You're super neutral. Thank you very much, Neutral Man. You should have your own superhero named Neutral Man. There we go. He's done. I'm done with him. He's good to go. Now, who are we going to paint? Bishop might be a lot of fun to paint, too. He's got this awesome hair, which will be all black, I'm sure. Oh, it'd be dark brown. Dark brown. That'd be pretty cool to paint. And he's got his M, which is kind of cool to do. I'd probably screw that up real good. He's got a little goatee thing going on. Kind of cool looking. He's got the silver gun. He's got his backpack. I don't know what's on his backpack. Actually, that's Dora. What's on his backpack? Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Dawkins. A lovely non-answer. Totally killing me. Cable, on the other hand, I think Cable would be harder to paint, I think is the deal here. Look at all of that he's got going on. Cable's out of control. He's got, first off, he's missing an eye. He's got stuff everywhere. He's out of control. I might make an executive decision here. This is going to be, oh, but I get to try that blue again. It'd be really a challenge to do this. He's got a lot of stuff going on. Cable would be better. There, cut out the second part for you. Cable would be better. All right, we got a 3-2 on Cable. So we're going to try to do Cable. We're going to try to paint Cable. We're going to see what we can do about Cable here. Oh my gosh. All right. We'll start with Cable. I don't know how far we're going to get with Cable, and we're probably not going to be able to finish it tonight, but I'll work on it again. We'll start with his skin, of course, first, because that's always what I start with, because skin is terrible. I hate skin. We're going to start with Army Painter. We're going to go with our Barbarian Flesh. That's the deal. No, you were the chosen one. You were supposed to bring balance to the stream, not destroy it. Oh, that was awesome. Oh, that's amazing. You are all so funny. I love it. I love painting these things. I love these live painting videos. Everybody's so fun to talk to. This is so good. All right, we'll put a little bit of paint on here and see how this goes. All right. That's it. No, the voting is going to close soon. I'm going to be closing the voting in probably 10 seconds. Is there anybody yet who has not voted that wishes to vote for either Bishop or Cable? Now is the time to do it. Or forever hold your hands. That's going to be it. You've got limited time. That's all there's going to be. Going once. Maybe going twice. Maybe going 3 times. Maybe going, there might be a little bit of latency. And it might not be a perfect amount of time before we go. All right, we're going down. Here we go. We're going to work on some Cable action. Cable has won the vote. We're going to put some of our flesh color out on our palette and get to work. Of course, right as I dip my brush in, I'm going to get 4 votes for Bishop. Here we go. That'll be the deal here. All right, got my brush back. We're going in. All right. Cable's got flesh everywhere. Oh boy, it's even back there. You know, Steve and everybody else, you're really giving me a run for money here. All right, we'll see how this goes here. Again, I'm probably not going to be able to finish him today, but we'll get going on him. Probably got a half hour left of my stream, and I'm going to have to call it quits. Now, with the Barbarian Flesh, you want to go over it twice on top of this gray. It doesn't work very well on top of the gray. His eyebrows are also black. I'm going to do my best to just keep them intact. They won't have to paint over them. I can just paint the black on top of it when I'm done. I want to paint over another color. Though if I do, it's not the end of the world. We'll go over to the side here and see if we can hit his. Now, he's not going to be able to see a lot of what's going on because his sword's in the way. He's got swords everywhere. This guy's like a walking arsenal. Should be called Arsenal, not Cable. But I guess that'd probably be ripping off. Was it DC? Does DC have an Arsenal? I think DC has Arsenal. Isn't it like a Archer? I think it's like one of the Arrow guys. I think is named Arsenal. Could be wrong. Again, I'm not perfect on my superheroes. Should be. Alright, what's going on with his mouth? His mouth closed. No, his mouth looks open, but I don't really see much going on inside. So we're just going to paint right over the top of it here. In theory, he's supposed to have... And a lot of his stuff is metal, too. So that's going to be okay if I hit some of this stuff. Like, this is all going to be metal right in here. He's got a lot of metal on him. Oh, I should have Bill paint this one. This one's out of control. Bill, you should be painting this for me. Come on. Let's send this to Bill, have him paint it. This is gonna be tough. But that's okay. Sometimes it's good to have a challenge. I'm just gonna paint straight over his mouth. If I want to put some teeth in there, I can later. I can put just a white paint in there and do it. All right. Going over the top. Now, sadly, all back in here, which you probably can't see, is behind his gun. I wish I could just... This is one of the issues sometimes when it comes to painting miniatures that are built, is you can't get to some of the stuff you want to effectively. If this was a miniature that I could build, I would not put his arm on until after I painted his head, because it's going to be super tough to get to, as you can tell by looking at it. Like, imagine if this arm wasn't here. If this arm wasn't here, I could get right in here without any problem. I could get inside that area and paint it. But since his arm is not there, or since his arm is there, I'm going to have a tough time getting to it. Huh. And I don't even know how much of that is his skin and how much is his hair. Well, I can see his hair, but can't really get to it. Wow. Good enough. I'm calling it good enough. There we go. Good enough there, good enough there. I'm just going to paint all this. That's fine. We're just going to go over this all flesh. There we go. Perfect. Okay. And his hands, I don't think have... Sadly, now if we look at the card here, I cannot see his hands. I do not know if he's wearing a glove or if he's got his hands just free out, willy-nilly out in the world. His Cable, he probably has gloves on. Knowing Cable. Oh, and you know what? I just noticed Wolverine has gloves on too. I would need to redo his arms. Look, he's got gloves on. I totally missed these gloves. Well, you know what? He's not wearing gloves in mine. I think he's just going to go with what he's got. He's going to go just like that. He's going gloveless. Totally missed that he had gloves on. Wow. Totally missed that. Oh, well. Not the end of the world. Again. Oh, boy. Does he have gloves on? I'm going to guess he has gloves on. But I'm going to guess that might be flesh right there. We're going to go with a little bit of flesh in between where his gloves are and his coat, whatever he's got here. Nope, I don't think that's going to work. Let's see what he's got over here. Okay, good. This is easier. He does have gloves because he's got this right here. Is that a band? Oh. Cable, you're killing me. Here we go. But I do know that this is his arm. Now, his other arm's a metal arm, if I remember right. I think he's got a metal arm for the other part. But this is going to go all the way up to this area here. He is going to look really cool when he's done because he have a lot of different colors going on. He's got a lot of blues and silvers and things like that. So it's going to look really neat. It's just going to be a little bit more than doing Logan, that's for sure. But again, we're going under the monster gun here. We're going to go all the way up to his coat and everything here. Oof, down right, get underneath there. So far underneath there, now my primer got all the way under there. And we're trying not to hit anything else, but his arm does come under here. Out of control. There we go. The eternal struggle with painting minis. Where does the flesh go? I should start a list. This is true. Yes, where did the flesh go sometimes? Did it go underneath there? Did it stop? I can't really tell. Like, is this really part of it? I don't know. I'm making it part of it. There we go. He's good. Now, of course, I will probably do 2 coats because this doesn't go on the top of gray very well. There we go. I think we're good. Wow. Under here. I've hit the gun again. It's not the end of the world because I'm going to paint that all gray. Or silver, sorry. It's going to be completely silver. His glove, on the other hand, I think I'm going to make it brown. Because everybody likes brown gloves. There we go. Boom. Dean Link, gotta go. It was fun hanging with you while you paint. Thank you so much, Doug, for joining. It's great to hear from you. Great to see you. We'll have to hit up some Nemesis sometime soon. Hit me up sometime. We'll do some Nemesis. It'll be fun. Good stuff. It's good to see you. Sorry I'm not going to Gen Con. If you're there, I will not be seeing you. I'm not going this year. Might go next year. I will be going next year, but not this year. Thank you for joining, Doug. Take care. More flesh. Okay, I think we got the flesh all done. Yeah, this is a glove. Definitely a glove, which means he's definitely wearing a glove over here. This I command. Yeah. Kind of like Serpentor. This I command. I'm going to command that. All right. I'm going to go back up to his face and get another coat on that. Just a really quick light coat across it. Just so it's a nice, deep flesh color on top of that. There we go. Perfect. All right. We got flesh on our miniature. I'll do his arm up again a little bit. Even though I've been working on it, it's probably still a little wet. It's okay. We'll just get a little bit more on there. There you go. Sadly, this week in Dungeons & Dragons, we were unable to meet, so we did not get to play some Dungeons & Dragons. There we go. What is the toughest mini you have ever painted? Oh my gosh, that's a great question, Dawkins. What is the toughest mini you have ever painted? Oofda. Oofda, I say. Toughest mini I've ever painted. You know, the Phoenix was a daunting task, but once I got an idea of what I was going to do, it went like lightning. It was super fun. That's when I used my airbrush on. And once I decided to use the airbrush, it really worked really well. One of the hardest minis I've ever painted. I don't know. I don't have an answer to that. I should have an answer to that, but I don't. Looking around at my games, let's see if there's one I can see that may have had a miniature that was tough to paint. You know what? Some of the Wild Ascent was tough, and that's just because of how much detail they put on their miniatures. They put a massive amount of details on their miniatures, and it looks really cool, but they were a little tough just from that. I'm thinking of other ones that I've done that I've had a tough time with. Anything that's iconic, I think, is really kind of tough. For example, these I thought would be a little more tough than they were. I really like how they went with them. They are easier to paint than I thought they were going to be, even though they're so iconic. Like I said, iconic characters are sometimes tough to paint because you need to make them look as cool or as close to what you're trying to paint as what your people remember as. Anything small was tough. The Seventh Continent miniatures I did were a little bit tough because they're just so small. Not that I don't. That's I guess a little bit tough. But other than that, I don't think there's really been I can't think of the toughest miniature. I know I'm really not giving you an answer, because there are some that took me a while, but I don't think anything was really like this is kind of tough because I can't get into some of the places, and yeah, I can't really think of one that was super tough. So I'm gonna strike out on that one. Striking out on that one. All right, we got some flesh. Now what are we gonna do? We got blue. We can maybe get this blue done. I want to try to get all these colors in first because then I can go over with the metal. And the metal, in case I hit some of these parts, I can just paint over it in metal. Not the end of the world. He has this white hair. Don't know what I'm going to do about that. Because white's a terrible color to paint. I have apothecary white, but that's not really a white. And I do have, but I want to go these blues. I think we're going to get the blue next. And I like that new blue we have. We're going to use that new blue. I like the new blue, the Highland blue. That's a good one. I do have that Talasar blue from Games GW here, the Citadel paints, but I'm going to use this one. I wonder if oh, that's a different blue. I almost went to that one. Is this still, whoa, hey, there went my paintbrush. This is still wet. I can still use this blue. Wow, that stays wet for quite a while. Now, where is the blue? What am I supposed to be painting blue? Let's look again at that. Anything that is not a pouch. Anything that is not a pouch is about to be blue. So we're going to go through here and paint all this blue. I really feel bad that I don't have an answer to your question. I'll have to think about it and come back to it. Maybe I'll talk to some of my friends too and see if they remember me saying something that was horrible to paint. Maybe they'll have an answer for me. Blue there. Blue all around here, I think. Again, where does the strap go? There's the strap. The strap is kind of running around. Oh my gosh, the strap's going everywhere. It's out of control. Appreciate the breakdown answer. I put you on the spot there. You did put me on the spot. Thank you so much for doing that. I love those kind of questions. Wish I had a better answer for you than don't know. That's not an answer for you. Underneath here, there's some blue here. Now, this X-Men thing is going to be black. So if I hit it with the blue, it's not the end of the world. Let's see if I can go around it here. All the stuff, now I don't want to hit the pouches, because those are going to be painted with some like kind of snakebite leather, and I'm not going to be able to paint over the blue on that. Again, we got blue here. Is the blue going to go up and around? Oh boy, here I tell. With this, I would second the 7th Continent minis were rough. They are small. Yes, anything that's small like that was a little tough. But then again, also when I made a mistake on it, it wasn't really the end of the world because you can't really tell because they're so small. There is a strap. Okay, the strap is actually down there. So this is all blue here, and this is blue here. I can actually get the blue right in here, and there you can see the strap. Okay. The strap is right there. The strap is right in there. And this guy's a little tough to see what I'm painting here. And there's more strap over on this side. Don't want to hit that. Now, good news is people aren't really going to see that part of the miniature, so that's not the end of the world. I'm going to paint all of this blue as well. Now, I don't want to hit his shoulder pad. His shoulder pad is definitely not blue. It's army green, so that's super good. So we don't want to hit that. But I do want to hit this part here, and now, oh boy, here we go. If I hit this, it's not the end of the world. This part right here, because that's going to be painted all silver. It's right inside here I've got to be careful with. Oh my gosh, it's another strap. Look at these guys. Got more straps than anything else I've ever seen. More straps than anybody I know. Oh my gosh. Wow. I do like the blue. I like this blue a lot. It's a good blue. The one from the Speed Paints. Keep it going with the blue. There we go. We're getting in blue. I just wish you didn't have so many straps. I like the Wolverine's leather coat better. But you know, this guy's got to be super prepared. He's got to be prepared for the apocalypse, right? So you got to make sure he's got everything ready to go here. That's the deal. Just like that. Okay. Okay. I think we're doing okay so far. Let's look back over here, a little bit over here, touch it up. Notice I'm rotating the miniature around because I want to make sure where I'm painting I can see. I hit a little bit there, but that's okay. Again, just like that. I'm rotating the miniature so I can see the line I'm drawing on. I'm turning the miniature this way to see that corner. I want to get right into that corner there. Once I'm in that corner, I'm going to rotate the miniature again so that I can get over to this side and go down this way with it. There we go. I think we're doing okay. I'm sure I hit one of those pouches. At the end of the world. Oh boy. All right. I'm going to need some more of that blue. I'm running out of blue on my little palette here. But I'll tell you, this blue is pretty cool. Pretty excited about this blue. There you go. I just got done with my Nemesis. If people have seen it, I don't know, but I did do my Nemesis campaign. I put my 3rd video out. It was super fun. I love Nemesis. Such a good game. So much fun. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. I enjoyed it. It was great. Super fun to play. I really like that campaign system in that game. It's really cool. I like how it really kind of changes up the game. Like certain parts of the game aren't used and they come back at a different time with different things. The board is set up differently based on what you have to do in that game now with the campaign system. So it's pretty neat. I like that. Alright, I went all the way around with this blue. We're almost back to where we started. It's worked out okay so far. There we go. Oofta. That shoulder pad, man. Shoulder pad's out of control. Who has a shoulder pad that big? And why do you need a shoulder pad this big? Sure, I know it's holding some of his bullets, but seriously? He's going over here too. Wow. Talk about being prepared. That's a lot of control. Who needs a shoulder pad that big? Is that really blue in there? Alright, I'll paint some blue in there. See how it goes here. It's probably going to be the end of me here. Let's see how this goes. Goes all the way up to there. Yep, there we go. Blue, blue, blue. Okay, that's the deal. Just like that. Started watching, then my family decided I needed to hear their dialogue more than, so I had to stop. That's happened to me more often than not, where sometimes I'll be cooking and then I'll be watching some like playthrough or a video and like people are talking to me in the house. I'm like, oh, okay, I gotta hit pause. Because I have no idea. I can't do. I'd like to keep listening to the YouTube video, but I'm going to listen to my family for a while. That's just how it goes sometimes. You never know when an impromptu football game is going to break out. I guess that's why you need those shoulder pads. Oh, for sure. For sure. All right, let's get back down here. Impromptu football game. Yeah, he'd probably be the greatest linebacker on the planet here. I got a little bit more blue. I got to try to get... Now, see, again, here we go. We have this issue again. Look at this gun sticking straight up in the air. I got to get blue into there. Blue into there and around and down. Let's see if we can get blue into there, around and down without screwing up and hitting the pouches here. Blue there. Up, hit the pouch. Down and around. It's going down and around, and it's going to go right here. I want to make sure not to hit the strap. I hit the strap. Well, whatever. I'm okay with that. I think we'll do just fine. There we go. Blue is done. Bluefta. Wow. Okay. Do a little bit of touch-ups. Not much to touch up. It actually turned out to be pretty good here. Yeah. That turned out okay. Yep. And there is something I want to try before we're done here. Remember we have our blue jeans over here on good old Logan. I wanted to try to potentially do a wash on it. I want to kind of get a brown wash. We're going to try this Agrax Earthshade. I'm just going to see what that looks like. This Might not be the greatest idea on the planet, but we'll see what we can do here. We're going to put a little bit on here and see what happens. I think that's not too bad. Makes it kind of a little bit dirty. I could have maybe done like a dry brush of it too, which maybe would have given it more of a dirty look because I could have put it in different places, but I think just putting a little bit of this brown on there might give it a little bit of a dirtier look to it. I think that'll be okay here. There we go. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. Now his base is almost dry. There is still a few places that are wet, so I can't... I think I could probably start dry brushing it. We're going to put Cable aside. Cable's going to put on the back burner here. We'll see how this goes. My goal is to have Cable be my character. We'll see how that works. If he becomes too much of a pain in the butt to paint, I might switch out to Bishop, and then everybody's vote is for not, but... Sometimes the owner of the stream gets to make a little bit of a little bit of what's going on. No, but we'll see. I'm most likely going to keep it going because I kind of like the challenge of trying to get around that gun. It's a little bit out of control. I'm going to put some white out here. That's what we're going to use. We're going to use some white, and I'm going to use this to dry brush that onto the miniature. White is kind of the go-to when it comes to... I know sometimes it's easier to do a light gray, but I really like doing a white dry brush on this. So we're going to get a little bit of white on here, and we're just going to kind of dry brush this white right onto the rocks here and go right across all this. Do a little bit more. And I have multiple dry brushes I could be using. I'm using this one. This is a Citadel dry brush. Quitter Gaming taught me a fantastic technique. I need to go pick up makeup brushes is what I need to pick up. That's a great idea because he says he uses those, and that's a really good idea. So here we go. I'm just going to dry brush this white onto this. It seems to be going okay. I'm trying not to hit the miniature itself. I just want to get these rocks and stuff on here. Alright, I think it's okay. Yeah, it's turning out okay. I think there's actually some red on this brush somewhere. I'll get a new dry brush. We'll try this one. Here we go. There we go. Alright, here we go. This is better. You can see how it kind of makes the edges of those rocks really stand up there. I think it looks really cool. I'm a big fan of a white dry brush. See if I can get some more on here. Well, it's getting on my base there. I'm just going to rub it off a little bit. Not the end of the world. On top of there. Yeah, I think this looks pretty good. A little bit more and I think we'll be done. We're getting close to the end here, everybody. Getting close to the end. Not only with this miniature, we're getting close to the end of the stream here. Let's see how we can do here. Might have to do a little bit of touch-ups, but I think we'll be getting close to the end. Underneath. There we go. A little bit more on that. Right on that rock there. And I think we are done with Logan. There we go. I think he is done. I got him right to where I wanted him to be here. And that's the deal. I do need to redo his shoes. As you can tell, I hit them. So let's do those real quick and then we'll call it. That'll be the plan. All right. I'll send you the Amazon link in Discord for the set I got. Yes, please do. That'd be great. And I will pass that along to other people. I'll put the link to that in this description of this video. If people are looking for a good dry brush set, Quitter Gaming has a great dry brush set. We're going to grab back our Wildwood Brown and hit my shoes again because I got them with the dry brush. Let's find my paintbrush. Here we are. Grab it and go. A little bit of this right on top of these boots that are made for walking. Logan's boots. Just around there a little bit. There we go. And Mr. Logan, I think you are done. I'm not a fan of his eyes, but there's nothing I can do about it. I'm not going to deal with it. I'm going to be okay with it. My son's miniature is done. This is who he is going to play when we do our playthrough. He is going to be Wolverine, and I think he looks pretty cool. I'm pretty excited with how he turned out. I'm gonna have to touch up the base a little bit because I'm gonna do it right now. I want to be done. I don't want to have to come back to this guy. I've got the paint right here. It's blue. It's sitting here. I'm just gonna go around it one more time here, especially on the parts I accidentally touched. There we go. Board Game Loser, it's good to see you. Thank you for joining. Yes, you're coming at the end, sadly, unless you've been watching. Wolverine is amazing. He's one of my favorite as well. Though my favorite X-Men, or favorite superhero or X-Men or hero of all time is Rogue. I've always been a big fan of Rogue. I've always thought of anybody that can take anybody's power is probably pretty much the most awesome thing on the planet. Kind of like, what show is it? Was it called Heroes? With the cheerleader one, Save the Cheerleader, Save the World, where I think the bad guy had that, like the clock guy, he could like take people's powers from inside them or something. So Board Game Loser, it's good to see you. Thank you for joining. We're near the end. We're near the end. So yes, I've always been like a big fan of characters that can take other people's powers and use them. I think that's amazing. One of my favorite parts in the X-Men, I have to go, Steve goes with Deadpool. He likes Deadpool. Sylar, thank you. That is the name of the bad guy in Heroes. Those who have not seen Heroes, go watch it. It's fantastic. I love that show. It's really good. Some people didn't like all the series, but I love it. Bill, thank you. Good job. See you next time. Yes, thank you, Bill. It's good to have you here. We are closing it out. We're closing it out. Rogue is my favorite. I'm just going to go with that. Anybody can take powers is amazing. I made it. Dan, you made it. Hope you're doing well. Yes, I am. I'm doing well, Dan. Thank you so much for joining. Yes, I felt Gambit was always spotlighted as well. Either the Phoenix and Dark Phoenix were also amazing. Yes, there's so many good characters in X-Men, but it's always come down to what's her name? I've always been a big fan of Rogue. So those that are just joining, it's great to have you here. In case you missed out on what we were doing tonight, we were doing Marvel United, painting up our X-Men character. My son is going to be playing this character in our Days of Future Past video or game coming up here. We're going to be doing it. So that is his character. It is done. I'm going to have to do a little bit of touch-ups on the hair because I might actually put a finish on it just because I know the black will rub off quite a bit. Good night. It is good to see you. Thank you all for joining. That's it. All right. We're done. Thank you so much for joining. That's it. We're going to be moving on to... I'm going to probably... Maybe I'll do an assembly video next so that people can see how I put some of my miniatures together. I might do either Shadows of Brimstone, maybe an expansion from that, or I might do a Kingdom Death Monster assembly. We'll see. We'll see. I also want to get to doing magnetizing the hands and stuff or arms for Kingdom Death, so people can put on the armors and arms and stuff of what they're fighting. I might do, and that's also a video I'm going to be coming up. But it's good to be back. It's been a while since I've done one of these. It's awesome to have everybody in the chat. It was awesome to see everybody. Thank you all so much for watching. We're going to be moving on to the end. If you're excited to see anything else anything coming up, magnetizing would be awesome, says Board Game Losers. So yes, I'll probably be doing that soon. It's one I've actually had a few people asking for. So I'll probably be doing that one. Thank you again all for watching. If you're excited to see what comes next on the painting table or even in the playthroughs, then of course I need you to meet me at the table. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next time.